The only real God is the one that you believe in. Start looking for the God in others. And if you find you're tuning into a wave, well then I don't know much about being saved.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
Welcome to Spiritual Philos-o-Chatter with the Joneses. I'm Danny Jones.
And I'm Samantha Jones.
And here we are, another week, another episode, and It is number 24.
24.
And our topic is
Meditation.
meditation.
Yep.
Good one, good one.
Yep, it is.
And you were mentioning earlier
Oh,
about...
yes. It has been almost 6 months that we've been doing this podcast.
Wow.
Because 26 weeks is half a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
We did it.
to you. We did
And
it.
we haven't missed one yet, so
Knock on wood.
that's good for us.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, I think that shows that we really enjoy doing it when we get it done.
Absolutely.
You know.
That's cool. Well, I'm excited for this one.
Yep. Me too.
Because I learn as well as,
Yes.
share my experience, but...
Yes.
So, but before we do, excuse me, did you want to get into anything from last week?
Yes, I do. I have a message that we received. Excuse me. This says, "Hi, Samantha and Danny. I really enjoyed your episode on spirit guides. It opened my eyes a lot. My twin brother died a few years back. We were not talking when he died. I always wondered if the signs I thought were from him actually were or not. I feel confident now saying that they are. I would love to get a reading from you at some point to connect with my brother if you don't mind. Keep changing the world. Love, Susan."
Wow. Thanks, Susan.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's so sweet, Susan. Thank you.
Thanks for the feedback and just sharing.
I think that is an important part of the Spirit Guide show was that point that even those people that you weren't connected to when they died, they're still there for you. My dad, I didn't talk to my dad for, I was 19 the last time that I talked to him. And
Wow.
I reconnected with him this way by being able to talk to him. And it's been pretty mind-blowing. And I didn't know much about my dad either. And so confirming the things that I have found out have been hard. I've had to ask the one family friend that we have that knows.
Right.
But it's really cool,
Yeah.
I hope people can really see that because they are here to help us. And
Oh, yeah.
they're not only here with signs and stuff, but things my dad has done to help me see that he was good at things is he helps me do art. I almost feel like he comes into my body and helps me with those
Cool.
types of things. Yeah. So they do that
Was
as
he
well,
artistic?
but He was. I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
I texted my mom's best friend, Katie, and I asked her, I said, "Was my dad into art?" And she said he was always drawing because
Wow.
I was wondering how I was doing it so well. All of a sudden I can draw pretty good. What's happening? Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Or somehow maybe I missed that.
Yeah, when I was painting rocks. That was one of the things that I learned about him while I was painting
Maybe
rocks.
you did share that with me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting connection.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. So never just
Well, I'll
count
think of
those
John
people.
now when I'm drawing.
There you go. He probably helps you sometimes too.
God, I'll take all the help I can get, John. Thank you in advance.
Thanks, Dad. So that was the question, and thank you very much for that, Susan. I really enjoyed that one, and glad you enjoyed that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
And then, you know what happened last week?
What happened?
The Area 51 raid.
Oh, that was a rager.
Well, didn't I tell you that I was I know it's not going to be this big thing that everybody thinks it's going to be. At most, I was hoping it would be a cool music festival that
Right.
maybe it would start something off, which I think in a tiny way it did, but not much.
We'll
pretty
see what
weak.
happened next year, but I doubt it.
I doubt it.
It seemed like they had more porta potties than they had people.
I think so. Their signs were hysterical, though. Some
Yeah.
of them. It was entertaining, but it was a lot of build up for nothing, like I figured it would be.
Oh, I think after the warnings came, people were like,
Yeah, no.
I'll just stand here and look through Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great shot, though. The first thing in the morning on the news or whatever it
Yeah.
was, and it's just porta potties. Nobody around.
And there was a reporter. There was one news clip. There was a reporter in front of the porta potties, And then behind him, there goes running this kid. I can't remember what that's called, Natura or something like that. Whatever that run is, where they like lean forward and put their arms back, and he does that behind the reporter. That alone was worth the hype.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If anything, maybe this could be the beginning of, like, if they did do it annually at this location or whatever, close to that area, 51, no pun intended. Maybe this could be some way for the government to see people coming out in a peaceful manner together to celebrate and acknowledge, look, we know that there's other things.
Right.
Okay, we are not alone in a vast, growing universe.
Not even kind of.
There's no way. So let us know.
Right.
Stop hiding and let us know, because maybe if we start knowing and start accepting, these beings would show themselves in a way that would benefit us.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they would. They're too afraid to
reveal
themselves to us. Yeah.
Many times in this world. But
just not in
this time.
Because, Earthlings freak people out.
Well, yeah, we're just nothing but hotheads.
Right?
So, if we would just sort of come to a consciousness of, okay, we're ready to accept this.
Right.
And we want to know. Yeah, if you don't want to know, then don't go.
Well, you're still going to hear
You're going to know about it somewhere. I guess that is kind of silly. But anyways, I don't know. That was the thought I had about it.
Yeah. Yep. But, I don't know. It was pretty interesting to see nothing happen. Like I figured.
A lot of hype for
nothing. A lot of memes came out of it. That made me happy. So whatever. It was worth my time, I suppose.
It was funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that's the weekly recap.
Cool. Well, now shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. Episode 24, meditation.
Meditation. So what is meditation?
What is it?
It is a practice where an individual uses a technique such as mindfulness on focusing their mind on a particular object, thought, or activity to train attention and awareness and achieve a mentally clear and emotionally calm and stable state. That was a long definition.
That's pretty accurate.
It's very accurate.
Good.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So I asked our listeners if they meditate on a regular basis, and 59% said no. So I'm hoping with this episode we can get that number lower and the yeses higher, because it really will change your life. It will. I'm testimony to it.
It is. And it's kind of like a lot of this is sort of meant to go together.
Yes.
Even like last week's episode, and I know you're kind of intentionally putting certain topics together because they do go together.
Yes.
So if you're meditating regularly and giving this an effort, you're going to most likely see more signs from your spirit guides than you would if you don't.
Yes. There are a lot of benefits to meditation that people don't know about. They just think it's like, okay, it'll help you calm your mind a little bit, but it really can do a lot more for you than that. And I didn't realize that either until I started doing it regularly.
And there's many forms.
Yes.
It's not just sitting Indian style on a blanket or a pillow and being calm, quiet with your eyes closed. It's much more than that.
It is.
That's a good way.
Yes.
But there is many other ways.
There are, and we'll get into some of them, because I do use a variety of techniques to meditate for sure. Different things help me when I'm in different moods or whatever. So, but I wanted to talk first about some of the benefits of meditation, because I when I was doing the research for this, I found this one really interesting. I don't know how to pronounce this word, so bear with me. It's calming the amygdala, amygdala. That's part of the brain. Okay. Where our fight or flight response lives. So it calms that, which makes perfect sense. It's actually scientifically proven that it helps calm that part of the brain.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you need scientific evidence of something.
Yeah.
It strengthens your impulse control. Mm-hmm. It really does. I mean, really the point of meditation is not to be this, like, I don't know, completely calm. I mean, I guess that's the ultimate goal.
Yes.
But it doesn't have to be for the beginner.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like baby steps.
Right.
Baby steps.
I'm not always calm. I mean, I'm not irate and raging, but
No.
I have moments where, yeah, life can get you and take you by surprise. But this process, I think, helps you from maybe going as far as you would have.
Right.
With your being upset or whatever.
That's exactly right. The next one on my list was managing stress, pain, and depression. And that's an important one for me. I have to meditate in order to control my stress level. If I don't, I feel it. I have not meditated today. I'll be completely honest. I feel it. I feel horrible today.
Yeah.
And it's just my own fault. I should have meditated. I should have taken a few minutes in the shower and I didn't.
Right.
But I'm telling you, once you start doing it regularly, it really does help in these ways. And it's like medication that you need it. I need that now. I need that meditation.
The shower is a really good one that wasn't always for me.
Uh-huh.
And then when I heard you kind of talking about that and trying that there, I started to just naturally gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
What the shower used to be for me, and I think it was Lori Gilmartin that posted this meme about this, and it was like a picture of a shower, and it's like, excuse me while I step into my argument simulation box for the next 45 minutes.
Right.
That is one of the most true and best memes I have ever seen.
Why do we do that?
But you know what? I don't do that anymore.
I don't either.
As much.
Yeah.
I've put on music because I wasn't showering with music on before. And I would just sit there and have arguments, like fake arguments with people.
Me too. I think
and it was
we
like, this is insane. Like, you got to stop this, Right. So once I started putting on the music, I used the sunlight that beams in like through the window is part of it, because you're almost make-believing or envisioning something in your mind that essentially takes over your body, you know. But so that I just had to point that out about the shower because I love that meme, but I realize I got to get away from that.
It is. I don't know why we all do that. And when you do that, when you have those fake arguments with yourself, you're putting that out into the universe as well. So you're just like almost reverse manifesting.
Exactly.
Like bad vibes.
You feel like
energy.
you're winning, but you're putting out
winning.
You're putting out the wrong energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you could be putting out better energy.
I don't even remember. Actually, I think that why I started doing those shower meditations was because when I first learned about my psychic abilities, our Great Dane was a puppy. And it was the only place that I could get away and have a minute to myself. Yeah. So that was the only place I could meditate. And so I just started doing that, and not just with like the deeper meditations, but we'll get into later about things like grounding and cleansing. And those are things that are really easy to do in the shower as well. Right. So it's like a triple whammy, actually, for me. I love it. I have to do it at some point, except like days like today where I just feel completely rushed. Right. But let me get back to my list so I don't get off track, because I will. So benefits, it also helps to improve sleep. Yep. Increases your focus and improves relationships. And I found this one really interesting. Helps battle drug and alcohol addiction, which I can definitely see. Yes. Because once you start to learn to meditate, you start to open your mind more and you start to see things more clearly. And when you see things clear, you realize that you don't need those kinds of things. Right.
No, I mean, the 12 steps talk about that. Like, I think within the first couple steps, outside of one, admitting you have a problem, two, connecting to a higher power and starting to give that up, stop holding on to stuff, which we can all use some of these lessons in our everyday life, whether you have drug problems or not. Yes. Or alcohol, whatever it is. But
yeah, I just thought that was really neat. I never really looked at it that way. I mean, that's a difficult thing to get through. So to think about adding meditation to somebody that maybe is like, going through the 12 steps or detoxing. Or whatever. Yeah. But so one of the biggest reasons that we meditate and benefits is that it increases mindfulness. And mindfulness is the ability to be present and to relax in the here and now. So to be fully engaged in what you are doing. that's really the main goal of meditation, so that you can take your mind off of what's not important and
Right.
focus more on what is.
Right.
It's difficult to do. It's not easy. I asked our listeners if they had any questions. And the number one question that was asked was, why is it so hard?
Well, I think because in our society today, we're taught like we kind of run by the hour.
Right.
Most of our lives are either the half hour or on the hour.
Right.
So there's this need to, got to get it done, on to the next task, on to the next appointment. We don't give ourselves a moment to not feel rushed. And with meditation, you can't feel rushed.
Right.
You got to take a little bit of time, and it may not work right away. I think one of the best examples I could give when I first ever tried it a long time ago was just focus on your breathing. Mm-hmm. Just nothing. Just listen to the sound of it, the repetition, what it feels like. But you're trying to get every other thought out of your head and feel just your own life.
Right. Quiet. Yeah. Your own brain to be quiet is basically the goal.
I would imagine it would be good for blood pressure too.
Oh yeah, that was just a minor list. There
Right.
It goes on and on and on. But yes, physical ailments, blood pressure, all of it for sure. But I started thinking about that question a lot the last couple of days. Why is it so hard? And I'll give you my take on it is that just like anything else, we want instant gratification. Mm-hmm. And so meditation is something that it does take practice. You're not going to be good at it the first time that you try it. And then I started thinking about that. Is there anything that you've ever done that you've ever been good at the first time that you tried it? And I couldn't think of anything. So why is meditation any different?
Probably being an idiot. I was pretty good at that first time.
Well, okay, if you want to go there.
I'm just kidding. No, I agree with you. I don't think everything takes effort. That's what it's about.
Yes. But on the flip side, you can also try too hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you some tips. I wrote some down, but I'll give you some of my own as well, because through this journey, I have learned what works and what doesn't work. And one of the most important things that I found is that you almost have to premeditate. You need to lay down or sit down or whatever position you're going to be in.
Yes.
And you need to give yourself a minute. You're not rushing into the meditation right away. You need to relax. Mm-hmm. I meditate to regular music a lot. So what I'll do is I'll pick a playlist and I'll put it in order of how I want it. And the first song is the one that helps me relax.
I always hear Pink Floyd.
I love to meditate to Pink Floyd.
When you're meditating.
In the shower?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites in the shower. So then, if it's in the shower that I'm meditating, that first song is like the one that I do all my stuff, like I wash and everything. And it helps me calm down. If I'm laying down, it's the one that I just lay there. I just relax.
Right.
And then the next song, when that kicks in, I try to focus on what I'm hearing, on maybe the drums or the guitar, or pick things out and meditate that way. It really does help. But the first step really is to quiet your mind before you really quiet your mind.
Yeah.
Very important.
Right. You have to tell yourself, okay, we're not going to think about work.
Right.
I'm not going to think about the kids or bills or dates and times.
Right. And then you have to surrender. And I caught myself doing this the other day, that I was trying to meditate and I was laying there and I'm just having those fake arguments in my head. And I'm like, you're supposed to be meditating, stupid. What are you doing?
Right.
And you have to bring yourself back.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to do this. And one of the things that's hard for me is when I need it the most, that's when I really don't want to do it. I'm like, I don't need it. And it's me.
Yeah, I understand that too.
But that's when you need it the most.
Yeah.
So you almost have to force yourself,
And again, this is one form.
Right.
So, there are some forms for me that don't require sitting still.
Right. Yes, me too.
And
for sure.
just breathing. Mm-hmm. But I still have to be thinking, I don't know what it is. I guess I guess one example is I like to go out into wilderness. I like to be around trees, and I like to listen to birds.
Yes.
And look at things, and that becomes my focus, where I'm drawing everything away that's a burden. And someone said it once, and it's I don't know where, I think I read it in one of the books, but that every time I go out in nature, I feel like I'm leaving something behind.
Yeah.
Some of my stress and my worry, and I'm taking something with me. It's like a refueling.
Yes.
I didn't used to pay attention a lot when I would go out, even to like the sounds or just even the looks as much, So I find myself doing that a lot more, and it calms me so much. Summertime, can't stand it because it's so hot. I'm not going to go out there at 6:00 in the morning. And I'm sure not going out anytime after noon.
No.
So.
I hope it's over. Today was like the first overcast day we had, so I can't wait for the first hike. Like, hiking season is almost here.
Yeah.
Yay. But it really is. Nature is such a great form of meditation, especially when it's like out in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Like one of your favorite hikes, Corriganville, is right by the freeway.
Yeah.
And as much as I love Corriganville, having the freeway in the background, I hate it. I love when you're just out there. There is nothing. There is nobody. It's just birds and
Aguro was kind of nicer because it looked similar, but quiet.
Right, exactly. I really like the quiet. So everybody has their thing that works and doesn't work for them. And that's another thing is that you have to find what works for you and what doesn't. Right. And just because maybe somebody tells you that you need to meditate sitting on a meditation cushion in Indian style with your palms turned up, if that doesn't work for you, then you don't need to meditate that way.
Try something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we'll just be sitting at the table. Like even today you were playing music and I hadn't meditated yet. So we're sitting there at the table and I just shut my eyes and took some deep breaths, and it doesn't have to be a big, long, drawn out process.
No, you could do it for 10 minutes.
Right. And that was one of the tips that I saw, that if you are just starting out at meditation, if you can try and keep it between 5 and 10 minutes, that's the best. But if you can't, even 2 minutes. You just start with 2 minutes and then you can work your way up. And I'm telling you now, I can meditate for I have 4 songs usually. So usually that's like 20 minutes and I'll still want more.
Right.
And sometimes I'll even meditate a couple times a day. So once you do get used to doing it and you do it on a consistent basis, it does get easier. It really does. Yep.
And one point too, which this might turn a lot of people off, is that if you feel like, oh, I don't like it because I get emotional, there might be a reason for
There is
that.
a reason.
So
yes.
So don't be afraid of that.
Yeah.
But if there's something besides even hiking in nature or sitting still or laying still, something else that you love to do, whether it would be painting rocks, like you said earlier, doing art, playing an instrument, it's meditative because it gets your mind off you.
Yes.
Off your problems.
Right. It
makes you more aware of you as a being, and a life force.
Right. Absolutely.
And less about, oh, I'm like living in this world of burden.
Right. Absolutely. Well, and you brought up something that I hadn't thought about, and that is when you get emotional during meditation. When you feel that, it is a deep connection.
Yeah,
it's not something to fight. It is a very deep connection. And for me, I have meditation visions. The goal of meditation is not to have visions. So in my process, in my songs, my third one is usually my visions. My third and fourth are usually visions of whatever's
kind of warm
coming.
Up too.
Right. Plus, I need to relax, So sometimes when I'm having those visions, I will get emotional. And I know that when that happens, it's because it's something that's true. And I actually wrote about this in my blog this week about how that happens. That it's almost like you know what it's like to daydream, and you know how you have to push those daydreams along.
Right.
But having a vision like this, it moves by itself, and then it makes you have that overwhelming emotion. Then you know that you're really having like meditation visions.
Yeah, a few weeks ago when I was really going strong with it, I had like flashes, like past life flashes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I
get a
drew
lot of-
one. Remember the one?
Oh, the alien?
Yeah,
Yeah.
drew that, and then there was another one where I was on a walk, on my normal morning walk, and I said to you when I got back, like, saw this flash of me, like,
Oh, I think
somewhere
I
in
remember
the Middle East,
that. Yeah.
and it was me. I felt like me, but I knew I didn't look like me.
Right.
I knew I had a beard because I
Yeah.
could see it out of the peripheral.
Uh-huh.
But the guy that I was walking with, we were out in the middle of the freaking desert, and he was like beard also, and kind of like seemed like a very long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Maybe that's why you hate the heat
Oh yeah.
and have a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny.
Yeah, it is weird.
I don't get a lot of like past life flashes, but if you do like start to see things like that in meditations, it is perfectly normal. It's not the goal. It really shouldn't be, because really the goal is to quiet your mind. You want to let your thoughts go, everything that, is going on, and just relax. That's why, like, a lot of times for me, I focus on one particular thing in the music, like the drums or the guitar. Then you can focus it and take your focus completely off of whatever else
Right.
is there.
Yeah. Music for me also as a player is meditative, even not just as a listener.
Right.
However, I have to get to a point where I'm comfortable in what's being played. In essence, like, it's been rehearsed a lot.
Right.
And everybody knows their parts.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this thing where I can just sort of hit autopilot.
Right.
And it's not like I'm checking out, because I'm totally conscious of what I need to be playing, but I can sort of go into the fiber of the music, like
Right.
into. I feel like that it's hard to explain, but
No, I
I
get
can
it.
go into it.
Yeah. I get it.
And you have to be careful because you realize you're not listening, you're playing.
Yeah.
But I can do both at once. It becomes it's addictive. Like I want it
Right.
a lot and more than once a week. Hint.
Well, and see, that's he's talking about music, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I lost my train of thought.
You screwed yourself on that one.
I did. I know. Okay, what were we talking about?
Just different forms of meditation, how music was a good one, even as a
yeah.
player for me.
Yeah.
So that's another form. And again, if I'm painting or drawing, I'll put on a book or music and I get lost.
Yeah, me too.
As a kid, when I got in trouble, my parents used to ground me from guitar and drawing.
Yeah.
Because they knew
yeah.
I could get lost in it.
Right.
And it wouldn't really matter that I couldn't talk on the phone or watch TV or go anywhere.
Right.
So
That's
yeah,
a
that was
horrible
that
thing
was
to
a
be
tough
grounded
one.
from. Yeah,
Yeah.
to be. I mean, it obviously didn't work, though. I joke.
No, but it taught me I just loved it even more.
Absolutely.
Because I couldn't wait to get back to it.
Absolutely. Let's see. Another tip is don't worry. Don't worry if you're doing it wrong, because there is no right or wrong. It really is about what works for you.
Right.
But I understand that, because I did that a lot at first too, is like, okay, this isn't working. What am I doing? I'm not doing this right. How am I supposed to do this? Don't.
Give it time.
Yeah. Give it time.
It's not going to happen the first time, but you will. It'll click and you'll see a difference. You'll even maybe surprise yourself.
It really is about patience too. It's it teaches you patience, which is kind of weird if you think about it, that you really need to have patience to meditate, but it teaches you more patience.
It really does.
Yeah, because I know that feeling of like, okay, this didn't work for me the first time, so I'm not going to try it again.
Right.
Or, I've done it 3 times and I feel a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But we're really here as testimony and proof that 2 years ago we didn't meditate. And now we do, and it really, really does help in so many areas.
Yeah.
Really does. So, but
like we spoke before, I mean, you made a contract, you had a plan before you came here. Your energy has the ability to kind of essentially be at more than one place at one time. So you have a higher self there
Right.
on the other side that you can connect to, or your spirit guides or your loved ones. part of those messages, those visions that you might get during these, that's being shared with you by your own request.
Yeah.
Because when you walk into meditation, you're now opening yourself and you're requesting, show me, let me feel it, see it,
Right.
hear it, whatever it is that I need to know.
Right.
And when I do it, it becomes more apparent how effective it really is.
And a couple of things about that is that if you don't want to have visions while you're meditating, but you might be, you can actually ask the universe to not show you things.
Yeah, you can request that.
Right. Because that's what I do before each meditation. Sometimes I've had like a really good day and I'm meditating in the middle of the day or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I really don't need to relax, especially if I've done readings, because that's also a meditation for me. But usually what I do, like I was mentioning about the having 4 songs, is I ask to not be shown anything during those first 2 songs. And then that way I can have my meditation and go into it. But you can turn it off altogether too. It really is as simple as that. But I will say your own mind can get in the way of that if you're going to sit there and still think of something, you know. But yeah, so you don't have to have those.
That was a lot of my problem at first, was my own mind getting in the way constantly when I first started. And you just start over.
Right.
Shut yourself down. Nope, that's not what you're supposed to be thinking about.
Right.
Stop, go back. And it becomes a habit, and you start to really realize that now you can just kind of step into it. You got to warm up a little bit, but like you just step into it. Music, if there wasn't music, it'd be really hard for me.
Me too.
But I like the nature sounds. Sometimes I pick some of those with, you hear the ocean or birds or streams, water.
Yeah.
Without music, sometimes that works too.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of
ones.
there's the guided meditations. There's apps for that too. That was something that I was going to talk about. Was one of the apps is called Headspace, and they have guided meditations on there. I think there's a bunch of these now, but I don't know. I'm old school. I go to YouTube if I want a guided meditation.
Yeah, they're available everywhere.
Yeah, and if you can put in like the type of meditation you're looking for. So like right now we're just talking about basic meditating. So you could put like, 5-minute meditation for beginners, and it really will give you something, But if you are trying to manifest, which is another form of meditation, there are also manifestation videos and stuff that will really help you. I like to do those.
Yeah, when we did it the other day for the 30-minute, it?
No, it was only 15.
15?
Yeah, it was
I thought
15.
It was 30. Because I woke up going, I could do more.
It was 15, yeah.
Not woke up, but, when it was done, I'm like, already?
Right? Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. And another thing that I can tell you from experience is that when you first start meditating, every little noise bothers you and it'll bring you out of it. And that's normal. And as you learn to meditate, that doesn't happen anymore. I usually have headphones in. That's the easiest for me. It does drown everything out. But like the other day when we meditated together, we didn't have headphones, but the dogs were going in and out of the dog door.
Yeah.
And
true.
There were things going on, and you can learn and train your brain to not be reacted to those. Yeah. There's also
that didn't bother me. Even the freeway hum at Corriganville doesn't bother me.
No.
I'm able to sort of just, I don't know if it's like block it out. I just sort of like accept that that's part of the sound for now.
Yes.
And I can focus on other things, and they sort of stick out, and then in some way it fades out what I've already accepted. It's weird.
No, absolutely. And they tell you to do that in some of the meditations, or like if you read up on meditation, they will actually tell you to use those distractions to your advantage, to focus on them. Right. So sometimes if there is something that I just can't get to like stop thinking about, instead of trying to block it out, I focus in on it instead. And that really does help.
Right.
It really is all about like the mind control of it. Most people don't realize that our minds are so powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And if you lay there and like, this isn't going to work for me and I'm never going to be able to do this, well, then you're right.
Right.
Because you're not giving yourself a chance.
Absolutely.
You have to give it a chance, and you have to surrender to it. And I'll tell you what, on days that there are days I don't want to meditate.
No.
And I will be feisty, and I don't want to. And I'll lay down and I will fight it. And then as soon as I give into it, things change.
Yeah.
It is.
I can easily slip back into that. I'm just a human.
Yeah.
And yeah, I am. But when I leave this body, I'm not going to be human anymore. I'm going to be what I originally was,
Right.
that I was
Exactly.
designed to be, and that is a spirit.
Yes.
But the spirit occupies this body.
Right.
So you have to nurture the spirit. And if you want direction and guidance, you have to listen to that other part of you, the higher self, that has had experience in other places, other lives,
Right.
that if you just quiet the mind, it will reveal itself.
Oh, absolutely.
Eventually.
You will start to really see a lot of changes like that and changes in your life
Yeah.
with this. I shared something on our Facebook page the other day that I started thinking about from what you were saying, and that was that the goal of meditation is not to control your thoughts. It's to stop letting your thoughts control you.
That's great. That's wonderful.
It's exactly right. It's to stop letting your thoughts control you. And really, once you learn to meditate, those little things that used to bother you, they really don't anymore. They become like almost obsolete.
Yeah.
But it is like a medication. You do have to keep taking it. You can't just be like, I'm going to meditate once a week and expect that I'm going to, have this mindfulness. That's not how
It really
works.
helps me just in how I react in life.
Yes.
Now, a lot.
Yes.
I don't react as much like I would have reacted.
No.
So that's a huge help for me.
Yes.
I have no problems with high blood pressure at 48 years old.
Yep.
I'm stoked.
Yes, absolutely.
And I don't eat like super healthy.
No, but it does help. It helps with a lot of things. And I can credit meditation to where I am today, because
Right.
one of the things that I don't talk about a lot is what happens when I don't meditate and have to do readings. I fight demons in my mind, because what's happening is they're trying to talk to me and my own thoughts are counteracting and I'm fighting. And
Right.
so I'll hear things that maybe aren't pleasant. And I've come to learn that that's my own voice. That's my own mind. And that once I meditate, I shut that out.
Right.
And
the argument stops.
the argument stops.
The argument stops.
Yes. So then I can do readings better and I can see clearer. But if I don't do that, I hear both voices at once. And I can see how people that like have, are diagnosed with schizophrenia or those types of things, I can see how that happens. Because if you don't realize that you have different voices there possibly talking to you and that you
Yeah.
can get rid of it.
I could see.
Yeah. It makes me crazy. And at first I didn't know what was happening. I didn't understand it. And there's a lot of times that it would also sound like a record scratching kind of. And
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
yeah. So I kind of figured out from the record scratching one that if I got rid of the angst and all of that it went away. So really that meditation quiets your voice so that you can hear the other side as well. But that was a hard thing for me to deal with at first, with my abilities. And so meditation really makes me be able to do my job.
Yeah.
I really truly feel that if they taught meditation in school, we wouldn't have a lot of the issues that we have.
sure would.
Because as I know people are like, oh, okay, this is, some of the, environmental, peace and love stuff. But
Right.
here's the thing is that this is real life.
This is much more than that.
Right. And we teach the wrong things in school. If we taught our children to be more understanding and did teach meditation and how to quiet their mind and how to calm themselves, it's not easy for kids, no doubt, but it would
be so much
things
easier when you became an adult because you were exposed to it at a much younger age.
Yep.
And different civilizations at different periods in human history, this was priority
Yeah.
in life.
Yes.
You got your head and your heart straight first
Yes.
before you went out and plowed or built or did whatever it is that you did to make ends meet. You took care of your soul first.
Yes, absolutely. I wish that I could go back to a younger time and start meditating.
Yeah.
Because I really think that it would have helped me relax in a lot of areas of my life that I stressed out on for no reason. Because
I hope I remember in my next life to hit it earlier.
I know, right?
To hold on to
Seriously.
this ideal much earlier.
I know. That would be nice because it really does help. It does.
It so does. I mean, I honestly, really, truly believe we are spirits having a human experience, not the other way around.
Exactly.
And we need to calm the mind.
Yep.
Because there is a difference between the soul and the mind.
Yep.
And you can hear it once you calm the mind. You can definitely, if you're not certain of, things in life, where to go, what to do.
Yep.
It will be revealed to you, but you got to calm the mind and stop the argument.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. There's a lot of different ways that you can do that, like we were talking about, but not just like laying down or in the shower, those types of things. There's specific types of meditations that you can do. And one of them is called cleansing. And cleansing is like washing away the dirt. So this is another one that I will do in the shower and it works so well because you have the water, right? So you're taking your shower and I visualize my body being empty. And then I visualize the water hitting me and, falling down to the ground. And as it's falling, I'm filling up with like a gold color, like my body is filling up with a gold color. And I work my way all the way up. So up my legs, up my body as the water's cleansing. And then you're filling yourself with gold light, basically.
Right.
And once you're to your head, you're done. You're cleansed. It's,
That's cool.
and then you can also use the shower as like imagining that it's light instead of water.
Right.
And that it's hitting you with light and filling you back up with that light that you need.
Yeah.
There's also shielding, and shielding is basically putting a shield around yourself. Mm-hmm. So I will start with the cleansing and then I will end with the shielding. There is another one I'll get to too, but you're basically just imagining a giant shield around you so that nothing can come in, nothing can penetrate this shield. And I'll even like imagine things coming at me and bouncing off the shield.
Right.
And so that's a great way to
I was saying
to do
another
that.
one too earlier about the light, because we have like a fogged glass in the shower window.
Uh-huh.
So when the sun, the way it's always sitting, at that time usually is, there's like kind of like this brilliant light.
Yeah.
And I'll just close my eyes and picture myself stepping into like either that's the light of God, the
Yes.
ultimate ray, or a light of healing.
Yes.
And when I focus on that light, I mean, every hair stands up on my body, and sort of using the water to picture like cleanse me of my worry.
Right.
So you have to sort of make believe when it comes to meditation.
Yes.
At the same time, when you get to that level of quieting your mind, you're quieting your mind, but you're also pretending something.
Exactly. But it's taking your focus off of the other things.
Yes,
So
the negative.
yeah, exactly. And the mind is such a powerful thing that you do the shielding and those types of things. And it really does work because your mind believes that it's protected. So it is. There's another one that I love as well. And you can do that anywhere. And that's called grounding. And this is your favorite because you do this with no shoes on.
Yeah. I would love to be able to do that when I go out
Yes.
on a hike, but I'm not that brave.
I don't mind. I do it.
In case I have to run.
Yeah. You're like, oh, look, that rattlesnake's going to chase me.
No, I wish there was a perfect meadow where you could just go out and get
know.
totally naked and not trip
Right.
out on any bugs or predators
There
or
probably is a place, but not here.
scary people.
Yeah, probably not here.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so the grounding meditations, I will sometimes even throw these in my shower meditations or along with the cleansing and the shielding, because this one kind of like it brings you down to the earth. It grounds you. It nails you down. So because sometimes our minds get away with us and it's almost like we're floating away or
Right.
things can knock us over.
Yeah.
So for this one, like if I'm at home or something and not out in nature, then I will just stand on whatever ground I have and imagine that I'm a tree and that my roots are growing into the ground. And I'll imagine my roots growing into the earth. And then once they are grown into the earth, I will like kind of try and move like backwards, forwards. And you feel the resistance of that you're now grounded into the earth.
That's a good one.
When you do that outside in nature, oh man, it like if your feet are on actual natural turf, that is one of the best experiences. That's when grounding is really incredible.
Yeah.
But all these things really are extra ways that you can meditate to really help.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like a full sit down, legs crossed meditation.
That's uncomfortable for me, actually.
Me too.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, okay, I have this new meditation pillow and I'm supposed to sit on it. And I didn't like that. So then I laid on the ground and put it under my legs, and I did like that. But I find that actually the best place is just on the couch.
Yeah.
It's where I'm the most comfortable. So why am I trying to make it fancy?
Right.
Stop making it fancy, I guess, is another tip.
Yeah. I just lay there and I put some over my eyes to help darken it.
Yes. That's a good tip too. Get yourself a face mask.
Yeah.
The face mask makes all the difference.
Yeah, it does help.
Sometimes I see my best visions with my mask on and my eyes open.
Oh, really?
Yep. I don't know why, because it's not actually seeing anything, but that's how that works sometimes.
Yeah, because I feel like it gives you the options to either not close your eyes or close your eyes.
Yeah.
And either way, it's going to be black, which is cool. So it doesn't distract you.
Yeah, you've talked about like coming into the room here, into the studio, because it's soundproof for the most part. There's not much light, and meditating with the lights off. And
it's pitch black.
I don't think I could do that. As weird as that may sound, because you are blacking it out when you're closing your eyes or covering them, I don't know that I could do that.
You kind of want to be able to open your eyes in case you need to see.
Exactly, because there's been times that I've meditated in bed, like with the TV on, and when the music stops or whatever, it will freak me out. I don't know why. Huh. It's like mind over matter, but I'm like, what's going on? All paranoid.
Can't do that with TV on because the flashing of the light would.
Yeah. I don't.
If you didn't have
often.
blinders on.
Yeah. I don't do it often. I do it for the dog because he likes to watch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other type of meditation is chakra meditation, and chakras are a whole other topic in themselves. I'm not sure if there's a lot of interest in it, but maybe we will do an episode on it at some point.
Right.
But basically what chakras are, you have 7 energy centers throughout your body, from the top of your head to basically it's like your solar plexus, your kind of like tailbone area. There's 7 energy centers. Right. And with a chakra balancing meditation, you're taking each one of those energy centers and balancing it. So like when I do these, which I don't do much anymore, but I really do enjoy them because it takes your focus off of everything else, is I'll start with the grounding and then work my way up my body. And I'll imagine that each energy center has a fan on it. And I can intuitively tell which energy centers need to be worked on the most. So I have like a little fan, right? And if it's moving in the right way, then I know that energy center is okay and it's open and it's good. But sometimes I'll come to one that might be blocked, like my third eye chakra. And then I just imagine taking like a little toothbrush and like cleaning that fan and turning that fan back on.
A good one.
Yeah. So that's the chakra meditation. You just go through each of your chakras. And there's a lot of people that might say the chakras aren't real or whatever it is. But the thing is whether these things are real or not, you're calming your mind.
Julia Cannon talked about that in her book.
About chakras?
Chakra meditation and focusing on those, and because the book essentially was about quantum healing.
Right.
And healing yourself through meditation.
Yes. So. I truly believe in chakras, and that if we work on these areas of our body, we can help with a lot of different things. For me, and if there's anybody out there that maybe has some of these abilities themselves, a lot of times I have to put my thumb on my third eye. Sometimes you might even see me meditating, holding my third eye. And I'm not really sure why, but I do notice that when my chakras are open, especially that one, I don't have to do it as much. So it's maybe like my chakras more closed or whatever, but when I do and I open it, I don't have to put pressure on it like that as much. Huh. Isn't that weird?
That's very weird.
And you know what? I was doing that before I even knew that I was psychic. Like I would sit and put my fingers on my third eye, and it was like a connection. It's very strange. I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah, I think I remember you doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? I thought maybe it was a headache because you get migraines a lot, but
yeah, no, it's a focus. It's a third eye focus. It's very strange.
Wow.
But yeah, I wonder if there's other people that have that. So if you do, let me know, because I've never really asked. Huh. I don't know if people do that, but But anyways, so chakra meditation, good.
Yeah.
Very helpful. Yep.
Very good.
Yeah. I think that covered everything that I have. Can you think of anything else as far as meditation goes? I really, yeah. I think we covered it. I mean, if you guys have questions, of course, if we know we're willing to answer, just send us an email.
I'm still learning about it a lot, and it's, putting it to use in my life on a daily basis is a challenge sometimes because you got responsibilities and things to do. But I definitely don't ever rule it out.
No.
And I call on it when I absolutely need to. I've gotten to a point where I know I need to.
Yes. Yeah.
But again, keep your mind open, not necessarily what you might think it is or should be.
Right.
And there's multitude of kind of examples I think we gave.
Absolutely.
Something when we talked about nature was the beach. If you live close to the beach, great, great place because you can really just focus on that ocean sound.
Yeah. We did that not long ago. We weren't even by the water, but just sitting there and watching the ocean and being out in the saltwater air. It was just...
It's neat when you can do it with somebody because it's gotten to a point, too, where it doesn't have to be totally private.
Right.
Like, we can do it together laying on the couch like we did a couple days ago, or we go walk, and even if there's conversation in between, it doesn't really matter because once I'm there, I'm already connected.
Exactly. I don't think that that's something that people realize a lot. And once you do start to do it more, you'll notice that it isn't something that has to be fancy at all. It really isn't. It's you make the rules.
Yeah.
Is the biggest thing. I think we're people that, when you hear about meditation, you really believe it has to fit into this certain bubble.
Yeah.
And it doesn't at all.
No, it doesn't.
But the benefits outweigh anything. I can't think of any downside to meditating. I really can't. I think that as humans, we're just very stubborn.
Yeah.
We just want things now. And,
we could all take an extra 15, 30 minutes off our phones.
Yes. And
to do that.
They say that a habit is made or broken in 21 days.
Yeah.
So think about meditating every day for 21 days, and then you probably will make it a habit. It really, I can't credit meditation for all the changes that I've made in my life, but I can definitely credit it for my anxiety level. And because of that, I have a highly addictive personality, so it's hard for me to let things go. But with the meditation, I feel like I've been able to relax more and let more things go. And I've given up a lot of bad habits, like drinking soda, biting my nails. There's a lot of medications. I mean, you name it. And I really do accredit meditation to a lot of it because it's changed my mind. It's changed my thought process. So I highly suggest it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I can be testimony for you on that one.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Go on YouTube, look up some 5-minute meditations. If you need some suggestions, feel free to email me. We're spiritualjoneses@gmail.com, and I can send you some. I just didn't want to put a bunch on here because everybody needs their own thing.
Yeah.
So, but if you need suggestions, I'm happy to help with that too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything else to add on that episode?
I don't think so.
Cool.
I hope that we helped and gave some good points and
give it a try, folks.
Really, you have nothing to lose.
Right.
Except maybe 5 minutes and you're still not going to lose them.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, before we say goodbye, you want to give any information out?
Let's do it. I will make it easy again, like I did last week, and say you can find everything you need at SamanthaJonesPsychicMedium.com. My blog is up. It's been up for 3 weeks. And actually, right now in my blog, I am talking about meditation. I'm talking about the big meditation in my life, the one that is showing me the path that I'm on. And so I'm breaking it down for everybody and trying to share that story. So have a look at it.
Cool.
And you can get that on my website, or I have a separate website for that. It's noplacelikehome.theblog.com.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's nice. Proud of you for doing it.
And you did the artwork.
I did. That cute little house on there.
Yes, he did. So check that out too.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thanks for the plug.
Of course.
All right. Well, and then if you do like art by chance, you can check me out, which is what I do, at djonesartcollection.com on the web. You can also find me at on Facebook and Instagram at D Jones Art Collection. And if you like music, play in a band, gypsybrown.com.
Okay.
And also on Facebook and Gypsy Brown Music on Instagram.
Yay.
So
good plugs.
Got practice tonight.
Yeah.
Coming along really good.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's weird. Like in the past, I've always been so anxious to want to just jump out there, you know, and let's just go rock. But for some reason, I'm so like adamant now. Like, no, it's not ready.
It's hard for me too, because you talk about it every week and I really want people to hear what you guys are doing. And I know that it's not ready yet,
Right.
But when it's ready, you guys, like, this is amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So I can't wait till we can release some of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and it's going to be meditation for me tonight too. So.
Yay. Yeah, there you go. There's another form of meditation. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it for me.
Yep.
Cool. Well, here we did another hour.
Yep.
And another week.
Yep.
And we hope you guys enjoyed it.
And next week starts October. It starts our
the spook month.
Yay! Every week in October, our episode's going to be about something along those lines, the spooky side of things.
Right.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
That will be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Yep.
We hope you have a wonderful week, and we look forward to next week.
Yes, we do.
Until
Can't
then.
wait for it. Peace and love.